Alright, now we're on How to Rock Singing Telegram. And this episode came out after the events of How to Rock's cancellation was announced. And it's announced at this point that there would be let's see, that was 17 episodes including CeeLo Part 2. Well, counting CeeLo as 2. As CeeLo Part 1 and CeeLo Part 2. So 9 left. That's what they had left at that point. Because, yeah, they said production order was 26. And while there were only 25 episodes, they counted CeeLo as 2 production codes. 2 separate production codes. 123 and 124. 23rd and 24th episodes made of the first season. And How to Rock Singing Telegram. First time I really liked it. First time I saw it. I've seen it like 1 or 2 other times since. It's kind of diminished in quality since then. This was the 25th episode made. So it was the second to last. After the 20 episode order was boosted up to 26. And here's the plot. And what's interesting is they kind of just jump right into the middle of it. They don't like bring us any like major details to how they got there. So it has Gravity 5 is going to be performing at like an upcoming dance. And outside with that, to fundraise for maybe the dance, well, actually, I don't think it's exactly for the dance. I think it's for actually the new band uniforms for Brewster High's band. They do a singing telegram business. And that works so well because they're a band. And they do kind of like a cappella numbers as they do the messages. And they do them in different styles. Specifically the Big Time Rush style that they do a little later in the episode. But that's actually like a background for the episode. That's not exactly the main plot of the episode. And actually, what should have been the main plot actually ends up getting shoved aside for the subplot, a subplot to the episode. It has and this episode has 3 subplots, only one of which actually works. We have I'll go into detail with the ones that don't work first. We have we have this one involving and this I'm surprised it wasn't actually the main plot of the episode. They have a system of sticky notes to help keep in track who ordered the singing telegram, what the message is, and who it's going to. Or actually, who ordered the singing telegram, who's it going to, and what's the message. And Casey puts on this really big fan that she wants to use to, once again, indulge her own ego. And the notes go all over the place. And they're messed up. And I remember at one point Casey actually grabs a few of the cards that are the same color and puts them together, even though they make absolutely no sense whatsoever as they're paired up. So then, maybe the fact that they didn't build off that and make it more than it could have been. Maybe that's what makes it not work so well. Or just basically that part of the 2 parts involving Casey causing it because she can't stand for one moment not to go about with how amazing she is. Or how amazing she thinks she is. And I just realized Symphony Mo's birthday was 9 days ago, the same day as me. Happy birthday to you too. I digress. Then we have second subplot. Involves Dahlia orders, and this is the part where she just went batshit crazy this episode. I mean, you kind of get a bit of an indication with it with her very brief cameo in a newscast. I almost said a network. That would have been better. A better title, actually, because a network. And then, like, all the other episodes where she was just completely, totally sane the rest of the time. And never in 2 more, and she's actually sane in those. Even though, like, one of them was actually the rest of them, they were both made before this one. In fact, the first episode she appeared in was a newscast, and then we have her, like, obviously obsessed with Xander in that one, and then we have her, like, completely obsessed with him in this one, and then all the episodes in between, nothing at all. You wouldn't have even known that she had a crush on him to begin with. So she has him, like, she orders multiple singing telegrams of him singing that he loves her to her several times, and getting him to somehow, I don't know how, but she gets him to go to the dance with her, and that's obviously he feels very uncomfortable with all these entire circumstances. They don't resolve it either, so obviously they would have had it as something to come back down the road. Maybe they would have ended up, after Molly and Grace became new members of the band and it became Gravity 7, she would have maybe became the new villain of the series. I don't know. Like, Xander would end up either with Molly or with Stevie, and then, like, she'd want to tear them apart so she could have Xander to herself. That would have been fascinating, come to think of it. It's too bad that it actually didn't go that route. Maybe they would have. I don't know what David M. Israel was planning. All I know is probably the most solid thing was Grayson would have happened. He would have definitely had, he said himself in one of his tweets, Grayson or Grayson Nelson was a slam dunk. And we get this, the third subplot that actually works has Molly and Grace not interacting with Gravity 5. Surprisingly enough, they have a plotline that actually works that doesn't involve them really interacting with Gravity 5 or plotting against them. And I figured out why they weren't plotting against them in the next episode, with the concurring ones, or the resulting ones, the succeeding ones right after. And so they're expecting to be asked to the dance very soon. Or is it a City Hawks? I can't remember. It's been so long since I saw the episode. And that, like, the girls were asking the guys instead of the guys asking the girls. I don't know. So they were, like, waiting with bated breath for a guy to ask them, and come to think of it, this plot line didn't wholly make sense. I mean, they're the most popular girls in school. They should be able to get dates to the dance right away. And then the fact that maybe they didn't realize it was Sadie Hawks, and that's why they didn't get dates, because they were supposed to be the ones asking, not the guys. That's actually pretty damn funny now, thinking about it. I wish that they would have addressed that, and then, like, they would have been like, "Oh, stupid ass! What the hell were we thinking?" So by the end, like, it just indicates the fact that what it ends up playing out as, and it's kind of weird, but at the same time, it's charming and heartwarming. We have them just being glad to have the pleasure of each other's company. It shows how important their friendship is to each other. And as well as that, but this doesn't really have to do with that, anything to do with that, but then we get the ending with Grace dancing with Nelson, Molly dancing with Kevin, and that's charming too. That's sweet. But the plot involving the main, I didn't even get to the main plot. I was just going into the detail as to what the subplots were. And look, I'm already 10 minutes in. So Stevie likes this new guy, and she's shy about it. So she decides to write him a telegram asking him to the dance. And she asks Casey to sing it. So she does, and because there's no indication that it was from Stevie and not Casey herself, he ends up telling Casey, I'd love to go to the dance with you. And the fact that he never figures it out, that just pisses me off. And as well as that, the fact that it's one of those dumb plots because all you gotta do is just say one thing to resolve it. And it's a misunderstanding too. I mean, Doug Walker talks about how much he hates misunderstandings in movies. As well as the lie revealed. I don't mind the lie revealed so much. I mean, the lie revealed is uncomfortable to sit through. That's why I don't like it. And I suppose that's why that's why he doesn't like it either. So then Casey wants to resolve it by telling the guy she won't go to the dance with him, but Stevie, being the noble one, refuses to let that happen because she wants to try and make things cool, although at the same time, because her own feelings are being hurt, she can't. And that actually kind of works because it shows how human she is. Once again, the most human character in the show. And then the fact that they actually made Casey more human too, that kind of works, I suppose. Although then the stuff with Stevie reluctantly agrees to go with Andy, and she's like obviously like having not a good time at all with him. And a couple parts of that work, like the fact that Xander and the guys, and the other guys, Nelson and Kevin, sing that song telegram to her in the style of Big Time Rush. It's well done. And then just Andy's reaction to when she says yes. That's their reaction to when she says yes. His reaction to when she says yes. Those are funny. Those are really funny. So this episode, like the heartwarming stuff, a few funny things here and there, but a lot of stupidity too. So it's weird. This one's a mixed bag. A very mixed bag. Well, with that being said, it's alright. Not a strong one, but it's okay. It's okay. Get you guys on the next one. On the flip side.